fight, playing with powers they don't understand. Will they fuck it all up or will they save the land? Treachery, vanity, loitering and worse. They are their own worst enemies. These fuckers don't need no cause. Authors and dragons. Authors and dragons. Their powers combined, a group of fantasy authors take on a sadistic games master. Will they survive? Ooh. Authors and dragons! Authors and dragons!
Hi there, I'm John Hartness, and I'll be playing the role of Fandingo the Fantastical, spell-slinging bard of all trades. In real life, I'm fucking hungover as shit from Dragon Con. But I write the Quincy Harker Demon Hunter series, I write Bubba the Monster Hunter, I write the Black Knight Chronicles, and I write anything else that you guys will pay enough money for. So go buy my shit.
Hello, I'm Joseph Brassi, here to bring you a little bit of bedtime magic. On this podcast, I play the role of Bjorn Bjornsson, enthusiastic and violent barbarian. In other real life, I write Skyfarer and Dragon Road from Angry Robot Books. Please go buy them, you beautiful creatures.
Hi, my name is Rick Gualtieri, and I play the Arrow of the Gods, the person who puts the junior in all the other junior adventurers who are here with them. Anyway, in real life, I write several books, including the Tomabill horror comedy series, and I am hard at work at the moment on the first in a sequel series, the first book which will be called Strange Days and is coming out this fall.
Hello friends, my name is Robert Bevan. I play the role of Klaus Richter, the notorious rogue. In real life, I write the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories, starting with the first book, Critical Failures.
Hi there, my name's Steve Wetherall and I play Brandon Fymester, the very well-equipped monk. In real life, I write the comedy fantasy series The Doomsayer Journeys. It starts with The Last Volunteer, so go check that out.
Hey everybody, I'm Drew Hayes, author of books such as NPCs, Fred the Vampire Accountant, and Superpowers. And in real life, I am a time traveler because I am both speaking to you before that I'm going to be in Portland for a Rose City Comic Con, but you'll be hearing this after I have returned, so I'm probably damper and hopefully got to meet a good few of you and shake your hands and sign some books and have a good time. But today we concern ourselves with the present, and in the present, our party of adventurers has been creeping along a hallway to a laboratory door with noises coming out. What will they do? What will they do?
Where is Bjork at?
Don't worry about what you're seeing right now. You guys are still in the hallway.
Well, I think it's important to set the scene. Fandingo is murdering something on the bagpipes and Klaus is trying to guess what tune he's playing. And that is pretty much the entire last episode.
So, where is Bjorg again?
Bjorg snorted a powder that made him have to violently shit his pants.
Oh, god damn.
But they finished a long rest, so in fact, right as you are all approaching this door at the end of a long hallway, Bjorg, you followed up your friends. You walked through a room with weird monoliths and glass that really made no sense to you, and saw an open door because your friends are idiots. So you just walked in after them, and everybody, as you're staring at the door, you notice Bjorg Bjornsson suddenly arrive behind you.
Hey!
What was that room full of monoliths about?
Monoliths, is that like when you stand and talk all by yourself for a long time?
No, that's a monologue. Please, you uncultured buffoon.
I'm a very cultured buffoon.
Don't vaginas do that?
That's monostat, and trust me, that shit I know about.
No, I'm pretty sure that there's a thing called the vagina monologues.
Yeah.
Or maybe
You
it was
uncultured
the buffoon.
That's the vagina monoliths. Jesus.
Truly fascinating. Now get up here, you eloquent meat shield.
Wait.
Are there vagina monoliths?
I'm not making that the episode name. I'm putting my foot down right here at the start.
God damn it, and we were working towards something good there.
It's okay. We'll do a secret spin-off podcast while Drew's not looking, entirely about vagina monoliths.
Vagina men here.
Yeah, so there's a door.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to open this door?
Yes.
Oh.
Fandingo moves 2 steps back.
Well, Klaus moves a couple more steps back. I thought that guy was dead. I thought we were just carrying him around for food.
Wait, you thought I was dead?
Been a while, man. Welcome back.
It's been a few hours!
You thought any of us were industrious enough to carry him?
Alright, Bjorg will go and...
Alright, everybody give me perceptions as you enter this new room.
Hour of the Gods rolls a 15.
Fandingo rolls an 11.
Bjorg rolled a natural 20 on perception.
Whoo! Well, that's gonna pay some interesting dividends in a bit.
Klaus Richter rolls a 5.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 13.
Alright, you got some interesting rolls going through that. So, Bjorg,
Yes.
you have gotten a natural 20. But there's a few things to notice in this room, so I want you to pick a general direction that you are looking in when you make this spot.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Diagonally straight, because I can see there's some stuff up that way.
I will go ahead and tell you, from this far away, you definitely clear enough to get the baseline of there's a bunch of desks sort of surrounding the room, but this one has like more shit on it.
Oh,
I used
yeah,
a
I'll
different
go-
token
yeah,
for a
that one.
reason. Alright, so this is your direction you're natural 20ing in.
Yep, that's the direction.
Alright. You notice... Okay, so we'll go through and we'll give everybody what they get now. Klaus, there's a room. There's some old cages and desks. That's about it.
Okay.
Let's see. Fandingo and Arrow of the Gods and Brandon Thighmaster. Y'all are all in more or less the same area. You all are going to get that there are desks, there are cages, there are what appear to be some dead creatures in these cages. You can't get enough detail to tell what they are, only that they're not moving. With yours, you can see that the smaller cages have like breaks in them and snaps, as though something might have escaped. And you notice you don't actually quite see the source of that noise you heard either. Bjorg.
Yes.
Bjorg Bjornsson. Ooh, nat 20. Okay, you see within this major cage in the center, it is still fully functioned. There is a sort of a preternatural darkness going withinward. There's a spell that is creating sort of a constant darkening effect within. And on the front of the cage, you see some very like specific written instructions. Do you speak Gnomish?
No, Bjorg does not speak Gnomish.
Then you just see some very official looking instructions on the front of the cage. And then the far end, you notice a very cluttered desk with like a lot of journals and scribbles and writings, and like this sort of looks more like the desk of someone who's in charge. Aside from the small desk, there's also a table kind of communal area where it looks like they might have had their meals and relaxed.
Okay. There's writing on a very large cage.
We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start an initiative
Alright. Oh dear.
because y'all heard shit. So let's not pretend you don't know their shit.
Alright, well, Bjorg will draw his sword.
Fandingo rolls an 11.
Arrow rolls a 10.
Bjorg rolls a 3.
Klaus Richter rolls a 23.
Well, that just means you can run away faster than anybody.
Brandon Firemaster rolls a 12 for initiative.
Klaus, you have the first movement.
All right. Well, we don't actually see anything yet, do we?
Nope.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you don't.
Okay.
I mean, you don't. They got some details and stuff, but you just kind of see cages, desks, whatever. Who gives a shit?
I shoot it. Klaus will draw his crossbow and look for something to shoot, but otherwise stay where he is, because yeah.
Brandon Thighmaster.
Bjork mentioned something about there being some Gnomish script, or some script. Does Brandon Firemaster notice that it is Gnomish script?
You are too far away to read it, but if you want to approach it, you can.
Words. Yeah, I guess I'll take a wander over. Why not?
Go on,
Doesn't seem to
Junior
be anything
Adventurer.
else going on.
We'll cover you.
I'll move over to the desk.
So if you want to dash, you can get within reading distance.
I got you covered, buddy. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, I'm still kind of jogging on the spot from the park environment, so yeah, I'll dash. Why not? Bit of cardio.
All right, give me a perception roll just to make sure you don't natural one.
It's very probable I could natural one on reading, I guess. Brandon Firemaster rolls a 9.
That is enough to read something that is only a few feet away.
Yes.
You see written in Gnomish some big letter words, warning, do not open without control gem. And then below you read, subject is in sedated hypnotic state, and then like lists off like some minor spells that are in effect to keep it sedated. Warning, not subjugated, only open with control gem in hand.
And this is the conspicuously empty cage, is it? Or
No, it's a cage, but you can't see into it. It gets dark, and as you're reading, it's listing it's being magically darkened to keep the subject inside sedated.
Oh, I see. Right, well, we should probably just, I guess, leave whatever's in this cage, unless anyone has a control gem. Does anybody know what a control gem is?
I don't know, but Fandingo's up. Let's find out what he thinks about it.
I wonder if it's like this gem that we found in the whatchamacallit that I put in this key. That when we pushed buttons back in the place with the pillars, it said that we had to have so many gems to do stuff.
Well, you sound pretty sure of yourself
that
there.
sounds right.
I'm willing to, I'm willing to bet our entire lives on that. Wild and rambling assumption.
Fandingo seems to understand words.
Yeah, you actually, Fandingo, you're a bard.
Yes.
Control gem is a very specific phrase. Hang on.
Put it in a song.
Okay, I'm going to say that you can roll me knowledge, history, arcana, and you know what? I'll go religion on this one, because I feel like there's a component that could justify it.
Fandingo rolls a 23 on his knowledge arcana.
Jesus.
All right, ground control gem to Major Tom.
Fucking A, baby. I know some arcana style shit.
Commencing countdown, engines on.
Okay, Fandingo, you remember just a tickle in the back of your head, an old rumor that certain Slaadai,
Whoa, racist.
so plural of slods, or plural of slod.
Alright.
I looked it up. Some Slaadai, who were created like from their original point, not as a disease, are said to have a control gem in their brain that if someone possesses it, the slod will obey completely.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
You should take a couple of steps back.
Oh yeah, I could do that. Check this out.
Because
It takes a couple of steps back.
I think there might be something real nasty in there.
Nope. Brandon, you can't move. It's not your turn.
Alright.
We're in initiative.
You said that this cage is filled with an unnatural darkness, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty unnatural to me. I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna move in my own time. You know, don't rush me.
That's fair. Hey, you do you. How close to the cage can I get in my movement?
You've done a little bit, so we'll say 30 feet. Whatever your one movement is.
Oh, well, yeah, so Fandingo will move up 30 feet and cast his light cantrip on a copper piece
Okay.
and throw it towards the cage.
Nope. You're out of actions. You can get the light, you can get the movement and the spell, but you can't throw it.
All right, fair enough. I have a glowing coin.
Arrow of the gods.
All right. Seeing what Fandingo was going to do, the arrow decides to one-up it one better. He will cast Branding Smite on an arrow, and he will try to shoot it through the cage bars.
What?
Roll me an attack.
I attack the darkness.
Where are the Cheetos!
All right, it flies in for 16.
It hits a what seems like an open space, and is knocked away as you see like a magical ripple of energy, almost like a force wall. Fandingo knows what's in this thing, or he at least suspects what's in this thing. You need more than just bars to hold these.
Hey, Arrow, try to not shoot the fucking demon in the cage.
There's a demon in the cage? Now I'm definitely going to shoot it.
That is possibly the worst thing you could have said.
Everyone, attack!
No.
Guys, I can pick locks. Should I do that?
No!
Sometimes I can pick locks.
We should put this thing out of the world's misery.
All right, well that's Arrow of the Gods' turn. Bjorg, it is your turn.
Yeah, Bjorg is gonna dash over to like near where Brandon is. Can he? I think he can reach there. Because that puts him in the most like meat shieldy position.
Sure.
Between whatever's in that cage in the party, since while these fucks seem determined to release whatever thing is in there, he's still still feels an obligation to protect them. So he's gonna jog up to Brandon and just kind of stand there and look at the cage and be like.
Let's see. As a reminder, Arrow of the Gods, in 5e, you actually have the ability to sense if there's a demon nearby. That's what Divine Sense does.
I know, which I was going to do, but Fandingo inspired me to do something far stupider.
It's good to be an inspiration. That's what bards are for.
Klaus, it is your turn. You are still holding a crossbow.
I'm gonna stay where I am. Or, well, no, maybe I'll move up next behind the ready-ass table.
It's a desk. It's a ready-ass desk.
Excuse me. And I'll say, man, I wonder which of these two strong men is strong enough to open that cage.
Ready ass desk.
Yeah, I'm trying to stoke some animosity between Brendan and Bjorn.
You know, I think that it would be a more appropriate test to see which of us could kill whatever is inside.
Or whichever one of you can kill the thief. Just as a suggestion.
Bjorg is gonna just like look at. Is he Silas or is he Arrow of the Gods right now?
He's Arrow.
Oh, okay, he's gonna look at the Arrow of the Gods and just kind of like just stare at him for a second with that Arnold face.
I'm staring at him with, what is this second edition bullshit you're talking about?
All right, Klaus, anything else?
No, I'll keep my crossbow ready.
All right, well, it would look like it's Brandon Thighmaster's turn, but looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, we don't necessarily always look like we're the stupidest party to ever play Dungeons and Dragons, but lo and behold.
As from out of the smaller cages in the debris come bursting
Oh no.
several creatures. They're just going to run up on you three. They are tiny tadpole monster-looking motherfuckers. If you would like to take a wild guess at what they are, Fandingo, you can roll a knowledge arcana check with advantage. Everybody else, knowledge, history, or nature, because you might encounter these in the wild.
That's fine.
Fandingo rolls a 17.
Arrow of the Gods rolls a 19.
Bjorg rolls a 6.
Klaus also rolls a 6.
Brandon, he knows that they're gross. That'll do. Brandon's not going to roll. He doesn't know what they are. He doesn't want to know what they are. They're just gross.
They have no muscle definition.
They really don't. You guys got it collectively well enough. I'll go ahead and just tell you. These are Slaadpoles.
Slaadpoles.
They are the youngest life cycle of the Slaads, and they are not a major challenge on their own. But the biggest problem is where you see one, there's usually more.
Yeah, that we've encountered a slod bar.
Indeed. So, let's see. Brandon, you'll get 1 attack, and Bjorg, you'll get 2. So, first one is for Brandon Thighmaster. 19.
A 19 does hit.
All right. 6 damage.
Ugh.
And then a 12 and a 17 against Bjorg.
The 17 hits.
All right. Then you take 5 damage.
Ugh. Has anybody got like a a newspaper or something I can scoop this up with?
Is your hurricane stick unworthy of these things?
I don't want to get goop on my hurricane stick.
Well, it's your turn, buddy.
Boy, the subtext in that statement.
No, there isn't. I'm just looking in my inventory to see if I've got anything that I can touch this thing with that I don't care about. Ugh, I guess I'm just going to have to use the broom. Okay, I'm going to just sweep this horrible tadpole thing away.
Your sad broom with 1 or 2 bristles left.
Hey, I got a new broom head.
Oh, that's right.
Just bought a brand new broom head. Ugh, it's going to get ruined. Brandon brooms for 22.
That will hit.
3 damage.
All right.
Shoot.
You whack it, and it is not dead, but...
Brandon whacks it.
Stop doing subtext.
Fandingo!
Fandingo's going to cast Fairy Fire centered on the area right between Brandon and Bjorg. And that's going to outline everything in a 20-foot cube. It'll make it glow with bright purple light. Anything in there is outlined. A dex save will negate, so Brandon and Bjorg and the bad guys can negate the glow with a dex save. And attacks against glowing creatures have advantage.
I've seen The Last Dragon. I'm not negating any glow if I can help it.
So it's a 20-foot circle?
It's a 20-foot cube, so it goes all the way to the roof.
Oh, 20-foot cube. Oh, well, then I'm drawing the wrong thing. Okay, so all of them need to make deck saves.
Yes.
What's the DC?
My DC 15.
Oh, okay. But, so here's the bad news. They have advantage.
Well, piss.
All right.
Much as Brandon Firemaster would like to glow, he sees Fandingo casting magic in his direction and reflexively kind of ducks with a 24 dexterity.
Oh, do we need to roll to save?
Yes, you do.
You can choose to glow if you want. You can glow if you want to.
The last time you did any magic in my direction, everything got set on fire, so you'll have to excuse me for flinching.
So just a straight dexterity save?
Yeah.
Alright. Bjorg rolls a 20.
Yeah, some good
Sweet.
dice.
You are not glowing. Well done. 2 of the tadpoles missed their save. I have marked them on the map. And, yeah, good spell, Fandingo. Do you want to move, or is that it?
No, I'm good. They don't look like they can get to me from here. I'm good.
Fair enough. Let's see. Silas.
All right.
Or, sorry, Arrow of the God.
Arrow of the Gods. He sees this one glowing with unnatural double light, and he will smite it. 28
That will absolutely hit.
for 9 points.
Okay, you have hit it, but it is not dead.
Okay, then I will hit it again.
All right.
That will be a 15.
Yeah, you kill it.
All right, then I will move up a bit. Turn that thing to salad dressing.
Oh.
I really like that one.
Jesus.
Bjorg.
Alright.
There's a non-glowing slod tadpole in front of you.
Okay, Bjorg is going to take his sword, and he is going to look at the non-glowing slot. Kind of like he's almost disappointed that it's not glowing. You know?
Who wouldn't be? Yeah.
Yeah. And he looks at it and he says, I only wanted to one time see you laughing in the purple rain. And then he will immediately attack it with all of his Bjorgness. Undefinable quality that defines Bjorg. And rolling that sucker, that is a 27.
You hit.
Laughing in the purple rain. Yep, 16. Okay, 16.
You obliterate it.
No more purple rain.
Super dead.
No, I think you made more purple rain.
Do you want to move, or...
Yeah, hold on one second.
We've only got the ones that are near like Brandon and there's only like one that I can see on the map near Brandon, right?
That is the only one that you have not killed yet.
Okay, Bjorg is going to move next to that one. And I think that
All right.
might... Does that give... Actually, if I move to the other side, does that give Brandon a flanking bonus?
There's not flanking specifically in 5e.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'll move to the other side.
Unless
anyway.
you are a creature that has it.
Bjorg is going to move to the other side of this, the opposite side of this creature from Brandon, and just look at Brandon significantly.
Klaus. Bjorg is looking at Brandon significantly over a glowing tadpole.
Alright,
It's only fair.
now I want to know. I'm looking at my sharpshooter feat. Yeah, I can take a -5 penalty to my attack roll and add 10 to the damage. And I want to know if that combines with my sneak attack, which I don't think I've ever used since we started 5e. But what I really should have been using, because wow. And as long as I'm using a ranged weapon and it's within 5 feet, and my target is within 5 feet of something it's engaged with, I can use it. As far as my understanding goes.
Yeah, doesn't take an action or anything.
Yeah.
So as long as they fit, you would get sneak attack on top of that, assuming you hit.
Alright, I'm going to take a -5 to my attack roll. And let's see what happens before we worry about damage. Our natural 20, that'll do.
Oh, shit! Please make it rain purple.
So for honestly, so you get 10 extra damage.
Yeah.
You've killed it. You have obliterated this thing.
Does it rain purple?
It explodes in a shower of gore as Klaus from nowhere just fires off the perfect shot. Do you want to put any polish on it, Klaus? This is your moment, man. You tell it how you want.
Yeah, it can rain right over Brandon and Bjorg. Just a salad dressing of goopy semen.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks for that, mate.
Well then.
And Brandon's broom.
Oh, wow. Brandon is a jizz. You're a jizz mopper.
I knew, bro.
He's looking shinier. I mean, that's nature's oil.
Oh, good. They can make it.
I am not rubbing that into my chest. Not while you're behind that desk.
All right. So you can all notice. That from the two nearest larger cages, the corpses burst open as more Slaadpoles come pouring forth, summoned by the dying wails of their brethren.
Well, it's like Splatterhouse.
Huh.
God, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, go hang out next to them.
Definitely one of the grossest fights I've ever had.
It's okay. I can cast Fireball on them.
A perfect strategy with absolutely no potential downside.
Right!
Is that right near us?
Oh, yeah, no, I'd be aiming the Fireball at you.
Oh.
Yeah, that was his implied threat was,
Oh.
well, I can AoE, but...
Oh. Well,
I can AoE, but...
he can AoE a butt.
No, I just wanted the goddamn spell description.
Alright, well, the good news is only 2 of them can get to each of you. So, Bjorg, first 2 go to you.
Yep.
11 and 10.
Nope.
And Brandon, the second 2 go to you. 10 and 15.
Both miss.
Yeah. They're numerous, so they're not especially powerful, but...
Brandon's now doing that dance you do when you walk outside in the dark and accidentally step on a slug, and then you just kind of, try and walk without your feet touching the ground.
Hey, guys, run this way.
Now stay near them so I can get my sneak attack.
I'm just trying to think, because Fandingo's definitely going to set me on fire at some point. I want to try and...
100%.
I want to try and, avoid that for as long as possible.
And the big question is nature's oil flammable?
Reminder, 5e has disengage, where you can spend your action to run or to move your full movement speed without taking attacks of opportunity.
Yeah. I don't really like the idea of running away. But I don't like the idea of being on fire either. Yeah,
But Brandon, think of the tan that Fireball would give you.
I've already got a pretty sweet tan. But, I have a rather specific skincare regime which involves not being set on fire. So I'm going to...
Put
Yeah,
that on live
Although technically you haven't punched one of these, so you have not gained enlightenment from it.
I am not touching one of these. Yeah, I've got to, I guess, spend my action to disengage.
All right, you can move 30 feet without taking attacks or whatever your movement speed is, because you're a monk. So you may move
40.
1 movement speed without taking any attacks of opportunity.
Cool, that gives me enough movement to form up on Fandingo, which I assume is the safest place to be vis-a-vis fireballs.
Right next to Fandingo is not a bad place to be if you want to avoid getting roasted.
Yeah.
Still gotta wait.
Yep.
I'm getting fireballed, aren't I?
Yep.
Fandingo!
So, I'm going to drop a fireball literally just to the east of Bjorg.
1 space to the east.
That's the west.
Yep.
Yeah, if I put it in that square, it's a 20-foot radius ball of fire.
Wow.
Angle it there. All right, 20. Yeah, that will hit. That will hit everything.
And me.
And you.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything.
Oh, damn. Okay, I won't be able to rage.
Oh, you'll be raging, all right.
Oh, I know he'll be raging. But the question is, will he be
You're
able
about to get pretty angry there, but Holger, I'd suggest.
Once again, they will be saving with advantage, though. Just letting you know up front.
The save is for half damage, and it's 8d6.
Why?
So, with advantage, I'm just going to do 8 saves. And we'll just say going up, down, up, down, up, down through the line as it becomes relevant. So.
And Bjorg should do 1, too.
Yeah. What's the save? Dex?
Dex 15.
15
So
is
the first
the
one
DC?
makes
Okay.
it. Makes it. Fails. It's 4 more. Makes it. Makes it.
Now, please tell me 15 is enough to kill all of them anyway.
15 might have been.
Except they already take half damage because they're fucking slod, so...
The good news is you have done a shitload of damage
Oh, well.
to them cumulatively.
Fuck.
And the bad news is I did 30 to Bjorg.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a bold move.
Yeah, pissing
Alright.
off the barbarian is definitely a bold move.
The 4 that are in the lavender square still have to roll dex or they glow. Because Fairy Fire has a 1-minute duration.
Fair enough. 4 dex saves. Fail. Made it.
Fuck.
And
Alright, how many of them are still alive?
he only
7.
killed 1.
Please tell me. Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
You took almost half my hit points. For the lowest value bang for buck.
It was a good move, honestly.
I mean,
It just failed
Kinda.
spectacularly.
Start raging, man.
Oh, he's
Sorry,
raging.
I'm gonna set you on fire to kill some demon cockroaches.
Arrow of the Gods, you are up.
I'd just like to point out, it's not as if we're having a lot of trouble killing these things. I don't think anyone said, oh, what are we going to do about the tadpoles?
All right. I'm gonna shoot 2 arrows. The first one will come after the one that's glowing, and the next one will come after this one.
Roll it up.
All right, 24 for 13 points of damage,
Dead.
and 18
That will also hit, and
for 14.
Okay, easy enough. So, you have definitely killed those two. There was not a lot of fight left in them.
Yeah, they were really badly hurt. I made it easier.
Hey, look, I killed 2, and I did not set the barbarian on fire.
Well, now you're just bragging.
If you'd rather, I can set you on fire next time.
Bjornson, you are smoldering but alive.
Okay, so these 3 right here are still alive, like the ones right next to me.
Yes.
Okay, so Bjorg is going to take 1 step so that he is immediately adjacent to all 3. And I would like to say that for this moment, since the fireball has just landed in terms of in-game time, this is the equivalent of Bjorg angry slow motion walking out of a literal bonfire.
All right.
And he is going to he's actually not going to rage just yet because I'm trying to be a little more. I clearly don't. Rage does not seem to be a prerequisite for killing these things. And he is going to lay in, because I've got 2 attacks. Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to lay in one. He's going to split those, one to each of the one just above him and the one just in front of him. It's 1. There's 2. So 13 and 22.
Those will both hit.
All right, and he's going to basically lay down with each weapon and just with his weapon once times and just kind of be like, I don't like fire. 1 and it's 9 and 10.
Yeah, with the damage, they are deadzos. Also, it's been a little while, but just for reference, if you're going up against somebody and you super want to hit, don't forget that you can reckless attack.
Oh yeah, thank you. It's good memory.
All right. Do you want to move? You would take an attack of opportunity, but you could.
Oh, I can.
You can. He hasn't used all of his movement though.
I will.
You can continue a move?
You can break up your movement however you want.
Oh, that's cool.
Actually, okay. So, there's still this one just above him.
Yeah, but you still take attacks of opportunity for moving out of combat, so you can't just pop in and out.
No, he's gonna hang out, and he's gonna just after he's obliterated the first 2, he's gonna look as the last embers die out of his scorched beard. By the way, his beard did survive the fireball, because Northmen's beards are made of,
asbestos.
Well, it was also damp because that thing that exploded, purple jizz all over your face.
That's true. You are covered in goop.
Yeah, so Bjorg, at this point, honestly, he probably looks like a really Nordic swamp thing.
It's not wrong. He's not
Or
wrong.
really hairy bukkake.
There's your title.
6 of 1, half a dozen. Speaking of bukkake, Klaus.
All right.
Oh my god.
Speaking of...
Oh, like it wasn't an appropriate segue.
No, it was too appropriate.
Yeah, people are going to think we
such
planned
thing.
this.
I don't think anybody who listens to this podcast thinks we plan anything.
All right, I'm going to do the same. Well, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to take my -5 to the attack. I'm going to go for it all with the sneak attack at the little jizz monster next to Bjorg. And,
Do you have anything that allows you to ignore cover?
Nothing to know of.
All right, then you are going to be shooting at a disadvantage because Bjorg is directly in your line of sight, so he's giving that thing cover.
Well, I'll just shoot at one of the other jizz monsters.
You also have movement if you'd like to reposition.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot at the one closest here. Yeah, you see that?
Gotcha. The one nearest to you.
Yeah.
Up front. Got it.
All right. So I don't get sneak attack, but these things don't have a lot of hit points. I'm just gonna fire at one. Here we go. Have some jizz monster. Klaus rolls a 26.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Alright, now Klaus hits for 10.
It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Alright.
As much shit as we gave Fandingo, he did turn basically all of these things into one-hit kills.
Yeah.
I softened them up for you.
I appreciate it, you giving me these kills.
Do you want any more movement?
Nope, we're gonna stay behind the shitty desk.
All right, well.
And that's why.
I'm singing this because if you'll notice on the map, more of the monsters are bursting open as the cavalry comes charging in.
And I have only half my hit points left.
Wait, are they the heroes in this scenario? That was another triumph.
I mean, compared to us,
We're charging into a room and slaughtering children.
This is a Zergling rush.
They are ugly children.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, but unfortunately, only the two who were near you get to attack you, Bjorg.
Okay.
Because the others had to burn dashes to get this far. So you're only taking 2 attacks from the tadpoles. 22, I'm guessing, will hit you.
Yeah, that'll hit.
But a 14, probably not.
Will not.
All right, 3 damage.
All right. Thankfully, they're not getting me that bad.
Yeah, well, that's the point of them. They're just a pain in the ass.
They're annoying.
I think they're fun.
Although they can overwhelm you.
CR obnoxious.
Yeah. Brandon Thighmaster. More of them have come.
Okay. I'm going to try and help Bjorg out in a way that doesn't involve setting him on fire. I'm going to try a bold new strategy. Right, something I want to confirm with you guys. At level 5, the monk gets 2 attack actions, but also has flurry of blows in which I can burn a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes.
yep,
Does that effectively mean I can get 4 attacks on these things?
it'll cost you 2 key points, but yeah.
You will get 4 attacks when you flurry of blows, Steve, because your attack action natively comes with 2 attacks because you're past 5th level monk. Your key point, flurry of blows, when you burn a key point, that allows you to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. So, in your action economy, you get 2 from the attack and then 2 on the bonus when you spend the key point. So, if you flurry of blows, you get 4.
So what you're saying is I'm super extra. Cool. Right.
No,
Okay.
I don't think anybody is actually saying that.
Well, that's what I heard. So, yeah. I'm not using the broom this time.
The most extra.
is about as extra as it's possible to be, I should imagine.
The extraist.
Yeah, it's just got an unarmed strike. He's basically just still doing his kind of slug on foot dance as he tries to sort of stamp these things to death. So
He's fisting children.
He's sitting there. You've been sitting there like some kind of crude AI, just trying to find the most horrifying way to interpret this situation. You're like the Terminator of horrible.
Have you read my books, Steve?
Yeah, but it's a joy to watch you do it in real time.
He is the deep dream algorithm of poop jokes.
All right, Steve, you got 4 attacks, but only 3 tadpoles in sight. So who's getting the extra?
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to just punch Bjorg just for the sake of using an attack. Not like I'm some kind of Fandingo.
I'll let you know because there's pretty obvious burn marks. The one to Bjorg's direct east still has some singes on it.
I'll punch that one first then, since it's already partially barbecued.
They're saying I would not double attack that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
And it's dead. But you need to declare your attacks beforehand.
in that case, 2 attacks to the one on my left and 1 attack to the one on Bjorg's left. So 12 for 3 damage to the one to my left, 27 for 5 damage to the one to Bjorg's left.
Okay. So you killed the one to your left, and you have wounded the one to Bjorg's left. Fandingo, you are up, sir.
So Fendingo's going to throw another fireball,
Sorry, Bjorg.
and he's going to throw it at the very northeast corner of the purple square, which the 20-foot fireball should stop before it gets to Bjorg.
Very considerate of you.
You know, it's almost like you should have done it this way before.
You
Well,
were kind of
there-
at the epicenter last time, man.
That doesn't mean you should set me on fire. Look, my feelings don't have as many hit points as my body.
All right, so 5 saves. The DC hasn't changed, so success, failure, failure, success, failure. Wow, that is impressive.
So Fandingo fireballs for 22.
22 will successfully take out 3 of them. Well done. And you notice the fire hit the cage and sort of ripple off, but you hear like a growling from inside.
Kids, are you okay?
Sorry.
Keep it down, kid.
Arrow of the gods.
Why no fuck?
Can I run away a little bit? Because that one's kind of close now.
Yeah, you've got 30 move. Go for it.
Yeah, Fendingo's going to go over here and hide behind the desk with Klaus.
Hey, man.
Hey, sup?
I do not expect to be fireballed right here. Awesome.
No one expects to be fireball.
Well, I have done it to Bjorg a lot.
But still, that's not something you get used to.
I will expect healing points later.
No problem, big guy.
Especially for my feelings.
That one I'm not really counting on.
All right. Arrow will split his shot again. 1 to this guy, the crispy critter, and 1 up here. First shot is... That's 14.
That will hit the crispy critter.
14 plus 8 piercing. But 14.
It's fucking dead regardless.
All right. Other one. 18.
If the 14 hit, what does that probably tell you?
Yeah. 14 points as well.
Also fucking dead. That was this one, correct?
Yes.
All right. Bjork.
All right, so since that fireball did not hit him, but he does get to be awesomely backlit by it. So as the flames like curl and roar behind him, he's basically going to do an attack on. Hold on a second here. He's going to do an attack to the one immediately to his. That's an 18 and a 23. So he's
Both
basically he's going to do this as like one long sweeping cut through both of them. I hate bugs.
Sufficient.
And that's 9 and 10.
Man, you portioned that out perfectly because you successfully kill both. You had rolled in different order. That would not have been the case. But you have successfully murdered 2 more of these innocent creatures that you stormed into the home of.
Well,
Innocent but disgusting. Don't forget that.
It is disgusting. Klaus, you can see the slug creature attacking Bjorg.
That's the only one that's left.
It's the only one you can see.
Okay. Yeah, well, I guess I'll shoot it. And, what's the rules for cover for shooting through Brandon?
Yeah, you're going to be at disadvantage.
That's fine.
You could always not do that.
No.
Maybe
If you want to
move
just
out
move
from under your desk.
over, you have enough movement to just get there and take the shot clean.
Yeah,
In
but,
fact, you would get sneak attack because it is right next to Bjorg.
Well, I could
What?
have sneak attack now, couldn't I?
You could if you can hit it with disadvantage.
Oh, I'm sure I can.
All right.
wow, he's just determined to shoot through Brandon.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome. Brandon, put your thumb and forefinger and together, and I'll shoot through those.
Cool.
Goddamn, natural 1 is coming up right now.
Yeah, this is the natural 1 moment.
So, what was it? It was sneak attack? Yeah. Here we go. 25.
Wow, you got 25s on both.
Yep.
That is fortunate. Okay, roll damage. You hit.
Alright, 7 plus, and yeah, it's probably dead, but let me use the macro I made.
Fair enough.
Where the hell is it?
Your macros are supposed to save time, don't you?
Plus 16. 7 plus 16 is dead.
It was already dead,
Yeah.
but now it's extra super dead.
Oh, did it splatter more all over Brandon?
No, there's really no way for that to happen from that angle. If you'd moved, you could have justified it, but you're shooting from Brandon, who's basically pointing at it, doing, oh god, that stupid movie with Chris Evans where he does a finger gun and a sniper shoots. It's basically that. Brandon finger guns at the Slaadpole, and right as your crossbow bolt flies through and just murders it in the eye.
So basically, Bjorg probably just got like a bug body face mask.
I mean, honestly, the trajectory, it's probably spraying the northwesternly way.
Oh, okay.
Because you're shooting like this, so the spray is going to go that way. And you're hitting it with that much goddamn power. Jesus. All right.
Man, it really feels good to, like, do the shit I'm supposed to do with my character.
Me too.
3 years in.
Could this be the turning point?
Did you see that, Ron Weasley, Jeremy?
Daddy did a rogue.
Roll perception, he did not.
Brandon Thighmaster. It is your turn, Brandon Thighmaster.
Well, I don't see any enemies. I realise that's probably not as reassuring as I think it is. I'm going to keep alert. I'm going to, I guess, form up on Bjorg a bit, so a more effective meat shield. I'm also going to toss him a medium potion of healing, should he need it.
Appreciate.
I guess I'll just say, if there are any more slug children in here, you know, fuck off. You gross children.
It's not too late to abort you.
Yeah, that's my action.
I'm really tempted to put that on the live blog and see how many fans we lose.
Maybe give that one a skip.
Yep.
Fandingo.
It's in the next shingles I'm writing.
Yeah, Fandingo really feels like maybe... Part of me really wants to run up and heal Bjorg. But the other part of me really doesn't want to get within arm's reach of Bjorg.
I won't hurt you if you make me feel better.
That
sounds like spousal abuse.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, huh?
That doesn't count if you set me on fire first.
Why do you make me do this to you? Is that what you're going?
No, Bjorg is the positive masculinity barbarian.
You can only stay positive for so long.
The terrified masculinity bard is gonna stay back here. Fandingo's just gonna hang out. Bjorg, if you want to come back over here, I'll heal you. But I ain't getting close to that cage.
He'll take you back.
Arrow of the Gods.
I will step up a little bit, so I'm pretty central, and I will activate my Divine Sense.
All right, Divine Sense allows you to determine if there are any celestials, fiends, or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. You do not get any pings.
All right, I think this place is clean.
Bjorg is going to take that.
Well, let's say 2d8 plus for second level, minimum caster level. 2d8 plus 3.
2d8 plus 3. Okay, that's 12. 12 total. All right, Bjorg rolls. He looks slightly less singed.
And don't forget that you can burn hit dice between battles to up your own hit points without having to use consumables. Klaus.
Yeah, nothing's going on. I guess Klaus will just look at some gnome porn with Ron Weasley Jeremy until things happen.
Hey, whoa, put that fucking thing away.
You knew what you were getting into when you went behind the desk, Fandingo.
What do you think desks are for? Don't judge
Fandingo's
me.
now seriously reconsidering whether it's better to just get punched by Bjorg.
I was reading the articles.
Then why is your hand down your pants?
That's how I read.
Helps me focus. Brandon Thighmaster.
I was about to say, well, if Klaus is looking at porn, it must be safe, but that's not true because, he's looked at porn in inappropriate situations before. That's not really a canary in the coal mine situation.
Don't judge me. I don't remember ever looking at porn in an appropriate situation. That's
It is never.
That is
must
probably
have been someone
true.
else you were talking about.
It's never, or perhaps from Klaus's perspective, it is never an inappropriate time to look at porn.
I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing this stuff.
That's true. That is true.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where did I get this?
You've made me sad now, Lord Farnsworth Butter Biscuits. Now there was a man who knew how to look at porn with dignity.
He used a ring of invisibility to jerk off, like a gentleman.
Yeah, he was classy.
Yeah, but that highlights one of the few benefits of having multiple personalities. Porn is all new again.
I'm reading the articles right now. When I'm ready to jerk off, I will use the ring of invisibility.
Wow.
I don't believe you.
I just want to say, is this conversation with Klaus, does that count as my turn?
God, it really should.
Can I still take it?
You can take an action.
All right, while I'm having this conversation, if you can call it that with Klaus, I'm going to cautiously explore the room. I'm going to go over to this table and kind of just see if there's anything on it that might help us or give us a clue.
I'll shout out, you should check for traps.
Okay, yeah. I wouldn't want to, disturb the rogue.
Yeah.
Throw me a perception.
Dear Gnome House, I never thought this would happen to me.
Gnome House.
Wow.
Brandon Firemaster gets a 22 perception looking at the table.
It is a table. There are empty plates, empty cups. It's impossible to tell how long it has been abandoned, but yeah, it looks like a place that people used to sit and eat.
Really glad I got that super high perception to work out that people used to eat at the table. Okay.
Fandingo.
Anything of them cups?
Can bards dash?
Everybody can dash. Dash is just using
Move
your action to move twice.
Alrighty then. Fandingo's getting as far away from Klaus's gnome porn as possible.
Oh.
I think that should get
Excuse me, Sister Cabrini.
that ought to get me right about there. The fairy fire cube is gone now.
Okie dokie.
And is looking around a bonus action or something?
You can do a perception if you're trying to study the room intensely.
Yeah, I want to do that.
All right.
Most especially this area of darkness from whence I heard a growl. Fandingo rolls a 15.
You see a cage with a with a note that you don't understand because I don't believe you speak Gnomish, and darkness inside, the magical kind.
Hey, there's a box of dark over there.
I already relayed the gnomish message to those guys, didn't I?
Yeah.
Or did I forget to do that?
No, you did.
Yeah.
You're the one who told him about the control gem, and he's the one who rolled and figured out there was a slot in there.
All right. Okay. Cool. Then my work here is done.
Mine too. I set Bjorg on fire.
All right, Arrow of the Gods.
Arrow of the Gods will approach the cage and examine it. I'm curious. I'll see if I can stick a finger through the bars or if that's repulsed.
You press a hand to it, it's definitely repulsed. Like it's not comfortable. You feel like if you tried to push, you'd probably hit some sort of electrical, magical deterrence.
I don't think you're trying hard enough.
Hey, Klaus, this is full of porn.
Yeah. This thing was made to not be opened. Like, somebody was not fucking around when they built this cage.
Is there a door on it?
There's not a traditional locking system that you are accustomed to. It's much more similar to what you've seen throughout this whole facility. There is basically what looks like a sort of a gem key slot, or not slot, but just like a gem keystone area like you've seen on the other ones. This one is keyed to a specific color. It is a deep blue.
The color of Klaus's balls.
Not for long.
Anything else, or you just doing a push and a look.
Yeah, that's pretty much about all I can do at the moment.
Yep.
A push.
Bjorg.
Arrow of the Gods is fucking around with the giant cage. Klaus is behind the desk doing something fucking disturbing.
I'm reading.
You do not want to know.
I'm sorry, Mr. Barbarian, if you find reading disturbing.
All
Maybe
reading
if you
is
were
disturbing.
illiterate.
It's a low blow. That's a low blow.
I'm getting attacked, you know. I'm not punching down. I'm punching back.
I am not. Not reading is good. I don't have to understand your culture.
I just love your idea of not punching down. It's like, well, Klaus is legitimately doing something unpleasant at the desk. Yeah, well, you're illiterate.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Klaus is always punching up.
Okay. Can Bjorg make it to the big old table in the back with all the stuff he can't read?
He can if he wants to run away from the person who could heal him.
Oh, Bjorg will just stand there looking useless.
You could walk this way.
But that's
This has some
Talk
pretty
this
good
way.
pictures too, buddy.
That desk at the far wall is looking better and better.
Bjorg looks at Fandingo and says,
Meet me on the way to the other desk.
Yes, sir.
"He will be."
So, okay, you want to go to the desk?
Yeah.
If you can dash and make it, but that's all you can do is make it.
Bjorg will dash and make it to the desk. That's
All right. Klaus.
I'll take a quick scan around the room, and if there's nothing that piques my interest, I'll go back to my article.
Okay, give me a perception and tell me which direction you're looking.
I am looking over toward the direction, the big old table that Brandon Thighmaster's next to.
All right, roll me a perception.
Klaus rolls a 14.
You see Brandon looking intently at a table, like just really fucking focusing, like a level 22 perception to stare at a table.
Man, that is not interesting at all. I'm going back to the gnome porn.
That's fair enough.
Well, I got good news for you. It's about to get interesting.
Oh, good.
Because exactly like what happened when you guys got near the other small cages, a Slaadpole jumps out.
God damn it.
9 does not hit, I'm sure.
No.
It's okay, Brandon. I can get it from here.
Like, it's one tadpole. Okay?
Brandon, it is your turn. There's a Slaadpole.
I'm just going to stand on it. So Brandon will take 2 attacks just to jump up and down on this thing.
Like a kid splashing in a puddle.
Natural 20 for 7 damage. And a 27 for 7 damage, so 14 in total.
literally
Roll a
just
d8.
jumping up and down on it.
Roll a d8.
Yep, that would be your critical hit damage for the natural 20. You get to roll your damage dice again, not your bonuses or anything. So, nope,
So-
just the one.
Yeah, sorry. It's 5.
All right, so that would put you at 19. You killed the shit out of it already. So,
Good.
uh,
Belay that fireball, Fandingo. I've got this. Turns out you can just jump on them.
yeah, you
Oh.
just leap up and down and grind it beneath your heels.
Brandon, you don't wear shoes, do you?
I'm wearing sandals. I'm not... don't even mention that. That'd be... Oh, God.
Yeah.
Nature's oil.
I mean, you already got sprayed by the one that Klaus critically hit, so honestly, at this point, who's gonna notice?
It's alright. I mean, it's really good that Brandon is celibate because he's now covered in oil of no lay.
That's a good one. Yeah. Just write that one down.
That was nice. Fandingo, it is your turn.
Fandingo's going to move forward to the corner of the cage and cast his light cantrip. Oh, I still have the glowing coin in my hand.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to push the coin as far as I can until it hits resistance on the floor.
The cage is like fastened, like welded to the floor. So if you're pushing it along the floor, you're just gonna hit cage.
Oh, well, then I'll put it right up against the edge of the cage and see if it illuminates the slot that I expect to be in there.
You can press it against the edge, but it does obviously hit the same limit as what Arrow of the Gods experienced. The light goes in, but only for a few inches before just getting swallowed out. Like, there's a constant stream of dark magic like the spell darkness being channeled into this small area, so it chokes yours out pretty easy.
Huh. Hey, guys, it's really fucking dark in there. I'm done.
Arrow of the Gods. Does somebody want to kill the last goddamn Slaadpole so we can end combat?
Where's that?
There's only one cage that one hasn't come out of yet.
Can I see it in the cage?
No, but you've watched literally one come out of every other cage.
All right.
Why do you think that logic applies to us?
I will approach.
You guys are pretty good at killing. That is the one thing.
That's valid.
All right. Yeah. Can I approach with my movement until it approaches me and then fire? I mean...
So now that you actually have line of sight, you can roll perception to try and see it hiding amongst the debris.
6.
Okay, you cannot see if there's anything in there.
Well, then I will continue approaching, because I am not one to metagame when I'm given hints.
Fair enough. Okay. You walk up to the cage.
Yep.
If you want to... I think you still have an action if you want to kick it or anything.
Sure. Sure, why not?
I mean, you can fire an arrow into it. Like, they have been bursting out of every other cage. Even if you can't see one, it's not out of the realm of reason to think maybe there's something hiding in this one too.
Fuck it, I'll fire 2 arrows into it.
All right, you're going to shoot with disadvantage because it's hidden.
All right, 14.
Hit.
And 20.
Yeah, you killed the shit out of it. It flares up, squeals, and then dies. Truly, truly a wasted existence.
No, it's not on this podcast.
Oh, all right. And with the last of the Slaadpoles slain, I think that's probably a good place to break the game for this week. But don't worry, listeners, we're not done. As you know, we take questions from you, the listeners, at facebook.com/authorsanddragons. At least that's where we take them eventually. But of course, first we have the people who cut the line, the folks over in our Discord chat, which you can access by going to patreon.com/authorsanddragons. So, Rick, you want to take us away on this?
We actually have quite a few new ones here. Let's see here. Graydon asks, a general question for everyone. What is your opinion on using Kickstarter for funding as a new writer?
So I know some people do kickstart their books. I have seen it happen. I have never been party to it in any capacity. So I guess I don't super have an opinion on it because I've never gone down that road. I don't know the challenges and benefits of funding that way. I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with it as long as you're upfront with what you're doing and what you're delivering, and if people choose to back that, then that's cool. I mean, just as long as you're being honest to people, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was thinking though, if you're known enough to get a backing, then you probably don't need it. And if you're not known at all, then who's gonna fund your shit?
Some people make good Kickstarter promos.
Yeah. I guess I'm notoriously bad at this kind of thing, so I don't know
Yeah,
what I'm talking about.
My thing is like I love Kickstarter for inventions or new products and stuff. And I mean basically I'm not gonna shit on anybody who's using Kickstarter, but I don't really back a whole lot of them because my general thought is, something. When I wanted to get my first book covers and stuff, I saved up for it. So I mean I think for a book, I got to be honest, for a new writer, I really don't see too much reason for me personally to support him. And for an existing writer who's making money, I'm kind of well, dude, you're making money, so this kind of feels almost like double dipping to me. So it just personally, I don't really like it for books.
I've been of one of two minds about it. For individual authors trying to launch their very first book, I'm not a huge fan of it for all the reasons Rick said. I have backed quite a few small press anthologies which are trying to step up from the level of author that they can usually afford to get for their anthologies and pay people a higher word rate than they've been able to pay in the past. So I've backed some of those. I ran one of those, but I kind of agree with Bevan that if you have enough of a platform to get people to give you enough money to produce the book, then then you probably don't need it. Where I've seen it be very successful is traditionally published authors who've gotten dropped by their publisher continuing a series that was popular but not quite popular enough to sell enough for New York.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a book use a Indiegogo or Kickstarter. It's like if there was an author out there who said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this new book, but I'm not going to do it unless I get appropriate backing to do it." Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. If he's got enough fans who want to see that book, then they'll still be paying for a copy. But I don't think I've ever seen it for books. I think the last Kickstarter I contributed towards was to make a sequel to Hawk the Slayer, and that never happened. So
I think it bears mentioning the way that the Kickstarter model makes the most sense to me is if I think of it as someone who has gotten used to working their creative and basically their creation process with advances. Because I know there are a lot of people from the old school who are very accustomed to, you get your chunk of money, you spend that on funding your time writing and then doing all your creation stuff and whatnot. So if that's your production capacity, then Kickstarter would serve, I guess, a good niche for you in that it would functionally take the role of an advance, because when you Kickstart a book, you're basically just pre-selling the copies in an ideal situation. So I guess if you're someone who's coming off of the advances world, I could see how Kickstarter would be a good way to bridge the new school with the old school.
Yeah, I mean, you're not, as long as you're running the Kickstarter properly and not cheating anyone, then no one's getting hurt. And
I don't think it would be a great tool for newer writers. I feel like Bevan pointed out, it would be very difficult to get the funding, to get enough attention to get the funding without already having that level of attention.
I've seen a few in the past that, like, I don't know, it basically came down to fund my book, like, so basically pay for me to like live while I write my book, and
those often don't go well.
No, they don't.
Yeah. What I would say is, this is like your first book or one of your first books, don't start any sort of Kickstarter or Indiegogo until the book is written, because
I have enough trouble getting that kind of attention when I got 6 books out.
All right, what's the next one?
All right, do we want to do another from the Discord?
Yeah.
All right, here's kind of because that way they can understand if you want to jump the line. Join the Patreon.
If you don't give us money, then fuck you.
That's the text tone that comes when you join the Patreon.
Oh, we should set a whole new level that's a voice recording of us saying fuck you.
And if you pay us money to say fuck you, then we'll say fuck you to you specifically.
I will know that I have achieved a truly disturbing level of connection with this fan base when I run into someone at a con who is using my fucking voice as a ringtone.
All right, here's kind of a deep one. Our friend on the Discord chat, Genjo, I know you guys have talked about not wanting to go back to your or stay at your day jobs, and most jobs seriously suck. What I want to know is what made you go to writing. There are many a career path out there that don't require anywhere near the blood, sweat, and tears to make it as a full-time writer, which means there's something that makes writing worth the effort to you. So I ask, why do you do it?
I had spare time in my office.
I think Bevan really did hit on it for a lot of us because he kind of hit on it for me. I was like, okay, well, what the fuck? I've got a little extra time, and I gave it a shot, and I enjoyed it, and people seemed to enjoy reading my shit, so I kept doing it.
Yeah, I was playing World of Warcraft, and my wife gave me an ultimatum. I could either keep my subscription or stay married. I used that time to start writing books instead.
Yeah, I mean, I remember being a teenager and spending hours of my life with ResEdit changing the graphics to games, so I kind of made my own game. And that was hours that I could have spent having a life. But I didn't, because I enjoy creating and I enjoy entertaining, and the amount of hours I've wasted on creative, entertaining endeavors that don't make me any money and nobody else likes, but I enjoy doing. So, yeah, I guess writing a book is the most efficient way to be creative and entertaining and actually get a bit of money for it as well, which is nice. But, even if Amazon didn't exist, I'd still be writing books for my own amusement. So
I think for me it was started off as a bucket list item because, I mean, here's the thing. Like 20 books in, I look at like an 80,000 word novel as like, okay, yeah, that's pretty easy to crank out. But before you like do that, that looks like an insurmountable obstacle. It's like you step back and you're like, and I'm like, wow, they would give me 1,000 word essay in college, and that was like pulling out my fingernails. How the fuck am I going to write 80 times that? So it was just, for me, it was a bucket list item of like, if I could actually do this, who fucking cares if anybody reads it? I can just say, yeah, I fucking did it,
Yeah.
Mine was an accident. I
fell over on a keyboard and did 500,000 words.
Yeah. Oh God, I keep blacking out and waking up to these long stories about superheroes. No, writing for me was a hobby for a long time. It was just a fun thing to do. I got an office job, same as Bevan and John, and I had some downtime, and I was really into reading web serials at the time, so I decided I would try one of my own. And that sort of was the slippery slope that led from serials to people wanting an ebook to, okay, this is selling better than I thought, to, oh, maybe I should make a go at this, and blah, blah, blah. So for me, it was just sort of like a slow, gradual slide into a career that I wasn't planning, but was turning something I really loved doing into something I could survive off of, so I wasn't going to complain.
Yeah, I mean, you say about the hard, long slog, and it always kind of fascinates me, the people who come into writer forums and say, with this kind of attitude that, oh, I'm going to make money writing. It's kind of, the chances of you doing that pretty slim. So if you don't love it, you're opening yourself up to a world of hurt. If it isn't something you were going to be doing anyway, I don't think any of us...
If you don't love it, it's going to be that much slimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so much easier ways to make money than writing.
There's sucking dick.
I mean...
Yeah, this is not the thing to pin your hopes on if you're going for get rich quick.
Suck a dick. That's the way forward.
For me, to be perfectly honest, I do it because I can't stop. It's like a fucked up compulsion. It was weird when I was in college. I mean, my business prospects were honestly never that much better because before I was doing writing, I thought I was going to be an actor.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I was in training to be an actor, and then it was pointed out to me, Joe, I don't see you doing the legwork to go out for auditions. I see you sitting at home and just writing these fucking stories like a feverish chipmunk.
It's like Joseph Brassey, Born to Starve.
Yeah, kinda. It's a good thing that I married well. That's yeah, compulsion. I need to make the voices in my head shut up.
I mean, the fact of the matter is that less than 10% of all published authors can make a living off of their words, and it's really probably closer to 5%. So yeah, if you get into it to make money, then you're a bigger idiot than we are.
And that's saying something.
And you know how big, yeah, you know the level of idiot that we can hit.
Saying that, no, please do continue buying our books and stuff. Obviously.
Yeah, you never know when we're going to get brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I would really love to quit my day job. That's not. I don't mean to sound like I'm content writing when I get a minute here and there. I'd much rather just be sitting on my ass doing that all day long.
All right, so now that we've been depressing as fuck, let's take. Who do we want to say fuck you to this week?
Yeah, let's hop to the
some
Facebook.
Dreams.
We had a birthday thing I saw. We could say fuck you to that person.
Kill your dreams, suck a dick, fuck you. Welcome to the Authors and Dragons podcast.
If this is your first ever episode, it's like this every time.
Oh, I think I might put "Kill Your Dreams, Suck a Dick" on a T-shirt. See how well that does.
All right. Well, since we're talking about hers, why don't we grab her question? Nina says it's my birthday. Can I get a shout out?
Fuck you, Nina.
Fuck you, Nina.
Happy wait a minute, you mean happy birthday or fuck you?
Oh,
I guess that is our happy birthday.
Happy fucking birthday, Nina.
There it is. That's a good one.
There you go. Happy
Happy birthday.
But she does ask, why aren't there more female NPCs in your game?
Fuck you, Nina.
I swear to God, we just tackled this. Like, maybe it was on a different forum, but I swear to God, we just answered this one. The shortest answer is it hurts my voice to do falsetto for a longer period of time. So any character who I'm going to be doing a lot is going to fall fairly close to my natural speaking rhythms and cadence, just because it's easier for me to sustain over the course of a podcast, especially when I'm having to jump between characters and whatnot. It's just easier on my vocal cords.
Jews are racist.
I'm racist. You sure that's the one you want to grab?
Well,
you want to give it 2 more seconds?
Nope.
All right.
He's committed now.
He's staying true.
Yes.
All right.
okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. This is an interesting one, a little outside what we usually get. Our friend Josh asks, "What kind of music is everyone into lately?" Actually, let me phrase that right. What kind of music is everyone into at lately?
If it's a club, I can't make it past the dress code.
Yeah, as I say, they don't let me to fuck in.
For me, it's a whole lot of Jason Isbell and Ray Wiley Hubbard, and it's always a whole lot of Jason Isbell and Ray Wiley Hubbard, with some Parker Millsap and Sturgill Simpson sprinkled in there, because yes, I am that big a giant redneck.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like industrial rock, like like White Zombie and stuff, and I'm like, I have no idea what, if anything, new is out there, because the few times I do get in the car to go somewhere, there's always like some top 40 pop shit like that the station is tuned to, and I tune it off rather than looking for something else.
Oh, I wanna say I have, because my van that I drive is a 2006 Sienna, and they've got a CD player, but I don't have any CDs. So I got the radio. I'm waiting for this thing to die so that I can get a proper vehicle with a USB port. But so I listened to 97.1 The River here in Atlanta, and I have learned that I really really do not like Aerosmith. Because that's like 70% of what they play. I had no opinion on Aerosmith before I moved here, but then, wow, I really don't like them.
All right.
Let's see here. I have been listening to, I listen to a lot of film score stuff. I listen to, like, some of my mainstays are Hailstorm and Poets of the Fall. Great, good rock. But lately, I have been listening to either a lot of hip hop, or I have been listening to Rag and Bone Man.
Yeah, no, in my car, it's dominated by CDs, and I'm never allowed to pick them. So it's either ABBA, David Bowie, or this, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, or this Dad album that they bought me, which is just a collection of dad rock. And they're all fine, but I normally like to listen to heavier stuff. I don't know anything about lately, because I don't deliberately look for new bands, but somebody put me onto Kvelertak. I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Norwegian death metal band. So look for a track.
Nice.
Kvelertak, 1985. It's like if the best summer of your teenage years was narrated by an angry Viking. So go check that one out.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask you for that in the chat later.
Let's see. I do a lot of podcasts these days, honestly, and I'm sort of like you guys. I'm kind of setting my ways on
The Adventure
older
Zone.
music. Cut that out, Steve. We don't plug other podcasts unless they sponsor us. No, I've been doing podcasts. I actually just put God, it's going to date me a little, but I threw the Avenue Q soundtrack back into my CD player the other day because I was feeling nostalgic, so that was fun.
Have you figured out what to do with a BA in English yet?
Yeah, it's kind of making it happen magically. It's still a useless fucking degree, though. That part of the song hasn't changed. I'm trying to think lately, like, what's the last album I actually listened through, and I think it was the new Kesha album, Rainbow, because my buddy kept telling me how good it was. If you're wondering, it's fucking great. It really is. I put that thing in my cardio rotation for when I'm running, because, man, there is some shit in there that's great for when you're trying to, like, push through the last mile. It's got some energy to it.
I always use Master of Puppets for jogging. It's perfectly paced.
Club music is pretty good for jogging for me.
But it's not angry. It's not about, and it isn't sung by James Hetfield.
Yeah, I'm with Steve. Like, you know, like angry music to, like, you know, to work out to. You know, that's the shit that just, like, you know, that just like stuff that just belittles the shit out of me.
If I listen to too much angry music when I'm lifting, then I actually start damaging the gym. I start getting really, really aggressive with the equipment.
There's science behind that. I think they did research into that, the effect of heavy metal on physical activity. It's supposed to give you a boost.
Heavy metal for gym, absolutely. For running, I like something where I can just kind of, like, zone out and just leave my body in autopilot, because that means I have to be around for less of the running.
I mean, nice. I'm too fucking sweaty to, like, you know, for earbuds to stay in, and I got these freakish tiny ears.
I've got some over the ear loop ones that I can recommend to you, because I sweat like a motherfucker and they stay in place.
All right. Well, you recommended the headset I'm wearing right now, so I'll trust your recommendation.
Our next Patreon tier will be to get Bevan new ears.
Go for the computer first.
Okay, so our friend Jason asks, "Where's my fucking badass dwarf NPC?"
Fuck you, Jason.
Who the fuck are you, Jason?
Yeah.
Why do you feel fucking entitled to your own NPC?
Yeah.
Jason, you're not entitled to the body of a dwarf, okay? The dwarf...
You have to pray to Torag like every fucking body else.
We did have a dwarf NPC, briefly.
Did we? We had a
yeah,
dwarf PC.
Oh, a dwarf PC, yeah.
No, we had an imp. There was a dwarf who came and rounded us up for the voyage.
There was also the dwarf who represented Silas in his court case.
Oh yeah, there've been a few dwarfs. Is one arguing for the law not badass enough for you?
What, you some kind of criminal?
Yeah, that dwarf went to law school. Did he not suffer enough for your for your amusement? He passed the fucking dwarf bar.
That dwarf had to pass the dwarven bar, and that dwarven bar is so low that humans can't actually pass it. They have to lose.
That dwarf had to pass the dwarven bar, and it's the first time in fucking history a dwarf has ever passed a bar.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
But
I'm with that one.
That's the slam dunk to end that question on. All right, that's where we're going to cut things off this week. Thank y'all for joining us. We will be back in your ears next week with a side quest, and then returning with another episode of Authors and Dragons in 2. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Authors and Dragons is brought to you under Creative Commons license, meaning you are free to share this material so long as credit is given to those who created it, which is us, the people you just heard play the game. Opening and closing themes performed by the Gore Core 4.
Authors and Dragons! Authors and Dragons!
It's okay, I can cast Fireball on them.